Boom! Today we have the return of Bath Salt's Ben, and he's going up against Tornado Joe. Joe was Ben's first opponent on the channel, and they've been bitter rivals ever since. Joe put Ben on the map, and we got to see how crazy and chaotic Ben can be at times. And I'm going to tell you, he's the exact same way in this role, and he proves it by going for the Ben takedown, the fireman's carry. But Ben shows off his amazing 420 IQ by rolling over, putting his feet against the wall so he can push off of the wall to get out of the crucifix. Joe is being crafty, however, and he spins with Ben, allowing him to put himself on top of Ben, reversing the takedown completely. Joe continues to keep the pressure up by moving immediately into side control as he can shuffle Ben's left knee out of his way. Ben has his own tactics ready, however, by pushing against Joe's lapel. After he controls the lapel, then he wants to trap Joe's left arm, and you're probably all wondering what is Ben going for? Yeah, I have absolutely no idea either. He's trying to grab the lapel and pull Joe into him, but this is only putting Ben in a worse position. He's looking for a choke from bottom, and nothing's gonna work from here. Ben's able to lift his feet off the mat so he can start scooting his butt out of this bad position, but Joe continues to follow him through, and Ben maintains control over that lapel. It turns out Ben's secret move with this lapel was to try and shove Joe over despite having absolutely no leverage from that current position. Instead, he gets shoved back down by Joe and he's still in side control, and then he finally decides maybe this lapel isn't doing anything for him. A huge flaw of Ben's is that he's always trying to stand up without any hand fighting at all. So naturally, Ben does it again, and we get a double quack as Joe pulls them both over his own butt, giving himself a little bit of damage, but at least Joe is able to stay on top of Ben, and Ben is looking to grab the arm and try and free himself from this nasty back control. Now, while you guys pay attention to Ben's faces and all the crazy animations he's going to do, I actually have an update on Ben. He's going to be competing in a tournament coming up on June 11th for Tap Cancer Out. Of course, my whole team is going to be there as well, but I'm going to be getting a lot of tournament footage of Ben specifically, so everybody can see how this crazy white belt would do against other white belts from other gyms. Which leads me to the question of the day. Hypothetically, if you were competing against Ben, how do you think you would do against this mammoth of a man? Keep in mind that Ben's going to be in full Bath Salts mode at the tournament, so how would you do if he was going to be trying to choke you out from every single position, even when you had his back? Joe tried to hit Ben with an armbar, but he was able to pull his elbow down and bring his belly to the mat. Of course, once Ben is in this position, he's trying to stand up without fighting the hands at all, and Joe gives him a little trip to return him down to the mat. But Joe can't control Ben because he has dead hips and he's also way too low on the body. Both of these make it really easy for Ben to roll out of this position, and by rolling out, he's now able to attack Joe's feet. We all know that Ben has an inverted toe hold in his game, but he also has the atomic butt drop. He smashes Joe's ribs and Joe tries to rotate with him. However, Ben catches him off guard, not controlling his legs, and he spins right into side control. Then he throws Joe into the bonus head control because he is Brock Larson's pupil after all. Ben somehow gets a lot of people submitted from this position by going for the Americana. He tries to shuffle over into mount to get to the Americana, but he does it really lazily like a true white belt and gives Joe half guard. Joe is trying to get an underhook with his left arm, but then Ben pummels his right elbow in to stop the underhook from coming in, and he's still attacking the lapel. Joe has absolutely no fear of this lapel choke, however, and he's going to shove Ben up in the air so he can start attacking the legs. He's trying to look for a sweep, and he goes towards single leg X, which I always love to see when white belts can get good at this position so early on in their career. Ben has no time for this position, however, and he strips the foot right off his hip, and he returns to half guard and is even going for a tight clamp. Joe finally gets that left underhook, and once he has this, he's making a little bit of space by pushing against the gi, and he's rotating out to the side. Ben keeps the head pressure against Joe, however, and he continues to monitor the hips. We can see that Joe is trying to think about putting his right hand under the left leg of Ben, but this will be hard to do, especially when Ben is posting up on that foot. Joe has to break Ben's posture first, and the easiest way to do that would be to rotate his hips because he has such a good lock over Ben's right leg. Ben continues to relentlessly attack this poor powerlifter, and the powerlifter can't do anything except for try and push against Ben. Joe finds a moment where he can rotate his hips both ways, getting Ben's weight off of him. He tries to go to single leg X, but then Ben gives Joe the people's elbow on the way down, and then completely loses the position, also gets his back taken, and Joe has both hooks in. Now, the true sign of being a white belt is when you have somebody else's back, you're controlling them, and then bad things happen to you. I'm gonna let you guys listen to the audio so you can see what happened. If you didn't quite catch it, Joe was actually crossing his legs the entire time, and Ben was able to sneak a little submission on Joe to get the finish. Joe, being a good sport, doesn't really care that he got submitted by the Bath Salts King, but that's not going to stop him from trying really hard in the second round. Now, judo is definitely not Ben's thing because he hooks Joe's leg and then he gets swept immediately. All it took from Joe was a little bit of elevation on the leg, and now he's in side control on top of Ben. And despite Ben being up 1-0, he still has the same ferociousness in his face, and he's trying to shove Joe away from him. You're probably thinking in this moment, wow, how can Ben escape side control? He could do shrimping or some other fundamental technique. No, that's not for Ben. Instead, he's going to try and give Joe every advantage he possibly can because he's always looking for a harder challenge. He's letting Joe wrap up any arm that he wants, and Joe decides he's going to go towards back control. I always love how much energy Ben puts into his back escapes, so I'm just going to let the audio play for a while. I don't know what it is, but there's always something so entertaining about watching Ben roll. This does bring us to the end of the video, so if you appreciate the video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Remember, you're going to see more Ben content, so you don't want to miss any of it. Thanks to all my current viewers and patrons. But before you go, if you want to look extremely stylish doing jiu-jitsu or other sports, make sure to check out xmartial.com from my link in the description below, so you can get awesome gear like I have, and you can use promotion code Tyler10 to save extra money.